Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me. Welcome to our third day or part 3 of Learning Together Python. I'm just looking for the check-in link real quick. Let me drop that into chat. If you have not yet, please make sure to check in so you can get your point and word. Hello again. Welcome back. Welcome. So we're going to go from a few basic things just to catch everyone up. You can definitely do this workshop without attending the previous 2 parts. This is part 3, which I don't like that background. Let's get some stuff taken care of real quick. So is this better? Wait. I think someone messed up the background's name. I think we're going to go with this background. Actually, it's okay. We're going to go with the Global Hack Week background. Welcome back. As you can see, I actually got water now, so that's a plus. Okay. So let's get going for today. So some basics of the slide. So if you don't know who I am, so I'm Kev. I'm a coach at Magically Hacking. I use the he, him pronouns, and I do a lot of different things. So feel free to talk about anything. I do have a focus in security. So next Global Hack Week should be my domain if I'm free. And hopefully we'll be doing a lot of them. And actually, I realized this is so much better. As you can see on their side. Oops, I forgot. It cuts me off a tad bit when I go into the other mode. But yeah. So welcome to Learn Together Python 101 Part 3 for Global Hack Week May Games. And for Global Hack Week Games, this workshop can be really done without any other previous part. There's a few things we're going to go together and help set up. But yeah, so we're going to go back to our viewing mode. Whoop. Okay, cool. So that's just some things about me, and there's my social if everyone connects in the background. But if you have not yet, please make sure to check in. We're going to progress this banner to ask anything in chat, and then we're going to move forward. So our schedule, really just going to set up Replit, then start working on it. I took everything else out of the schedule, so that's why it's blank. But set up Replit. If you never used Replit before, Replit is essentially an online IDE, where IDE stands for Integrated Developer Environment, that allows you to spin up essentially a sandbox anywhere you want to be able to test your ideas, your code, etc. It's a really cool, neat way to get going, especially learning a new language, or to even try out a new language or any new thing, really, without having to invest heavily into it. So here is the link for replit.com. Make sure you head over there and make your account. Once you've done that, create a REPL. Is what they call each REPL is like a sandbox space, and then you can set a template for it. We're going to use the basic Python programming language for the REPL template, and we're going to go from there. Give me 1 second. Quick sip of water, and from there, really, once that's done, we're going to switch over to no more slides. It's going to be mostly today focused on this, and as people are doing that, we're going to kick off with some sound. Let's go find our music album. Let's see. So I kind of like this one. Oops. I meant to drop the volume a bit. Let me know if the music is too loud, and I will adjust accordingly so you guys can hear my voice. But that should be loud enough for you guys to hear the music. And just to confirm that, I'm going to turn up my sound for my computer a bit so I can hear this. Okay, cool. Yeah. Oh, I think I messed up. Wait. Play. Okay, there we go. You guys should be able to hear it. But yeah, I wish this thing was something a bit more fun, but that's okay. Okay, so cool. So as you can see, I kind of started setting up our base structure for our story-based adventure game. So we're going to import time. We talked about libraries a bit, standard libraries that exist within Python to make your life easier. Time is one of the set standard libraries, so we're going to import that. And then we're going to do if name is equal to if name underscore equal to main. This essentially is your main chunk of your program. If you code in other languages, it makes sense. Don't have to worry about it. And then we're going to teach 2 new concepts today. as we're programming, only because they're going to be really useful throughout the programming process. And once you get into Replit, you're going to create a Replit, set Python 3, and then just create it. And once you do that, you're actually going to open file, create a file. I'm going to call it Global Hack Week Story Game.py. You can name it whatever you want. After that, you go up here, click on show hidden file. I already done this, so yours says hide. I mean show. Mine says hide because I already done it. Once you've done that, go to the .replit file. This is your configuration file for Replit itself, and we want to configure it so the run button actually runs this file. If you check yours says run is equal to Python 3, and then it should be main.py. Change it to wherever you named your file that you're going to be working out of. After that has been complete, also change the endpoint to wherever you're going to be working out of. And this will set up your run properly, so it actually runs the file you're in. For example, you can see that I might print a hello world because I printed that in for now. So this is our base structure we're going to go with. I'm going to take away this tag because that's really not needed anymore. And we're going to start writing this game. So like most games, we're going to learn a really quick thing. Like most, not games even, like most programming language, you have something called functions. Function is just easier way to segment off your code to begin to essentially easily reuse code as well, easily determine parts of code and running it. So you generally will define, think of function as ways to chop up the problem to smaller pieces of the problem. So we're going to first do def, and then we're going to name, we're going to call it start game. So I'm going to make a function called start game, and then I'm going to start programming parts of this, right? So first things, we're going to have our print statement that says, welcome to the welcome hacker. This is going to be a wonderful journey down into the world of hackathons. I'm making mine based off of this. You can definitely change this later. Hackathon. Definitely change this in your own game later. So the reason why I imported standard libraries, and we're going to use the time standard library to help generate a bit more suspenseful feeling. So we're going to use it's called time.sleep. This essentially puts your program to sleep for expiration of seconds here. So let's say I'm going to sleep for 5 seconds to build up a suspense between sentence after sentence. So for example, I'm actually going to comment out hello world. I'm going to make a comment saying start game. And then for start game, I'm actually just going to call the start game function that we started writing. No, today is, yes and no. So today is kind of technically the last day of game week. Today running into tomorrow before noon at Eastern Standard Time, or Eastern Time, is technically the last day of Global Hack Week. There's technically a day 8, but the day is just running the last recap of Global Hack Week games. But technically, if it depends on what you mean by day. If you mean it's today in terms of Sunday at Eastern Standard Time, last day, no, because we have workshops in Monday morning as well. But yeah, so we're going to call the function start game. You would just type in the name of the function, and then you just put this. If there's any arguments or parameters that goes in the function, you feed them through, but there is none, so we just call this. So I'm going to show you why I use sleep. So I'm going to do print. I'm going to be like, this is a wonderful, I don't like that. Okay, wonderful adventure filled with friends and learning. So if I run this, you can see why sleep might be really helpful when you're programming, right? So you can see it first prints this out and then wait 5 seconds, then it's going to print out the next line, right? So you can help with formatting and build this out, right? So I think 5 is too long, so maybe we'll drop it to 2.5 seconds instead of 5 seconds. Because that was a bit too long of a wait. We don't want that long in between. And maybe we actually want a new line after each sentence. I'm going to go back. We learned about the new line escape care sequence. So if I run this now, you can see that this text into welcome hacker. This is going to be a wonderful adventure into the. This is a wonderful. Oh, I don't want to use wonderful twice. This is a venture filled with friends and learning. And maybe to prevent the program from just default terminating, what we will do is we could enter a sleep cycle right here. So we'll terminate ourselves. Sleep time, we're going to do 10 seconds. So we can kind of see how this kind of like rolls together. Welcome, hacker. This is going to be a wonderful journey into the world of hackathons. oops, I meant to do not time.sleep. Oopsie daisies. That was a mistake. So I kind of want to see it without it kind of already terminating there. So I'm going to run this. So welcome, Hacker. This is going to be a wonderful journey into the world of hackathon. This is an adventure filled with friends and learning. And then we can start slowly build our premise to the game. It's kind of like when you start a Pokemon game, right? They ask you a few things. Pokemon game is actually could just be rendered down to a text-based game. So we can print our next sentence. We can always add a new line here. So what might we want to say afterwards, right? So we stated this is adventures. Before I'm going to do before we begin, tell me a little about yourself, right? So we can do this, and then we can make some we can make a character, right? So let's do player info, right? And we're going to use a dictionary, which if you remember is done by curly braces separating certain pairs, right? And actually we didn't learn this, but something. So what we can either do is set up the dictionary ahead of time as a global variable on top, or we can slowly add to appending to the dictionary, and it will add values to it if it doesn't exist. For example, I'm going to say, who are going to tell me about, so maybe I don't know exactly what I want to collect right now, but as I'm building out this game, I will certainly to build out what I would love to be able to collect from, let's say, the user, right? So player info. So first things first, tell me about yourself. So first thing maybe we'll do, we're gonna mimic this traditional feeling of almost like a text-based game in Pokemon. What we're gonna do is we're gonna ask you for your gender first. It's a pretty common in a lot of starting adventure games, right? So maybe we'll add another sleep. So before we begin, tell me a bit about yourself. We're going to throw another 2.5 seconds sleep. So there's a bit of delay. It builds suspense. And then we're going to do, we're actually going to do player info. And then we're going to make a new one called name. So this is how you would insert a new key value pair into the dictionary. You just generate the name. You set equal to a value. So for this case, I'm going to do input prompt. I'm going to first do a new line. We're going to do 2 new lines. Then we're going to do what is your gender? Oh, well, this is not going to be named. We're going to do. Actually, we're going to just do, instead of what, we're going to do, are you a boy or girl? So it's kind of like that nostalgic Pokemon type of feeling. Let me see. Can you guys hear the music? Because I want to make sure we have a bit of music going, so it's not super quiet and boring. I'm going to switch it up, though. Let's play this. Yes, that was actually a thought I was having. Good catch there. The only big... I could open it up to, I guess we can do, what gender are you? I was actually going to bring that up. Unfortunately, a lot of the code games are written as just, are you a boy or girl? And even in some of the newer games, it is. That is definitely a huge point. Thank you for bringing that up. I was considering how to approach this strategically, because I kind of wanted to give that nostalgic game feel where they kind of just ask you if you're a boy or a girl. But we can do... but I was thinking of how to build into this gender thing as well. So we're going to do that. No, you're good. It's a great catch. I'm glad you catch that out. That shows how good our community is about saying things like that. So let's do that. So what is your gender? We're going to do this then. I do like this a bit better. I was just thinking about how to approach this earlier. So maybe we're going to do player info, and then we're going to do name. So maybe we want to do a response in between. So after you say that, maybe we'll go print, and then we're going to build in our next thing. We're going to use it's on my keyboard. I like this ... I actually don't know how this will print out, but I do like this ... a bit better. So this might yell at me. Oh, it doesn't like it. That's unfortunate. We'll just do ... Then we can, oh, oops, I'm stupid. I need to quote it. This is why it might be yelling at me, because it's not a valid character without it being quotes. I think it should be able to print characters like that, dot, dot, dot. And do new line. And I'm going to do new line and go, okay. Next up. I'm going to do okay, next up. I'm going to do a standard dot, dot, dot. What is your name? What is your, let's just do, what would you like to be called? Let's do that. So now we will click that. I'm going to shrink a tad bit so I can actually read a bit better. I'm actually going to put the prompt because I think that's less important to be able to read my code. It's a bit important for testing. We can then make it the other sides bigger. So, all right, so first we're going to sleep for 2.5 seconds. Print, before we begin, tell me a little about yourself. Player underscore info, gender. What is your gender? Dot, dot, dot. Actually, I'm going to make it one kind of dot, 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 and dot, dot, dot. Okay, next up. What would you like to call the player's name? And then, yeah, okay, let's see. So if I run this, let me see if this formatting is how I want it to be formatted. Let's see. So welcome, hacker. This is adventure filled with friends and learning. Before we begin, tell me a little bit, what is your gender? So I kind of want it to be maybe on the next line, and then for the next line after it's been created to go gender. It's just a formatting thing, so I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna do the same thing for here. I'm just gonna do name, and then we're gonna do a next line. So now if I run this, you can see this formatting comes out really well. Welcome, hacker. This is wonderful journey. This is a adventure filled with friends. What is your gender? So I can do M. Okay, so I maybe don't want dot, dot, dot. Okay, next one. Why does it do that? Let me see. Is it a formatting thing? Oh, I did a new line. You're not going to do a new line. So we'll do this. Maybe we'll do a tab character if we want. Let's see how this looks. Oops, I forgot to hit run again. So you see there's a bit of delay. It's kind of like in the game. What is your gender? If I do male, what is your name? Okay, so I don't like that formatting. So we actually want to throw a new line actually after, probably between here is what I meant to do. So we're going to do new line dot, dot, dot. And then next up, we want to do new line. We probably don't want the /t for formatting sake. Let's run this one more time. Let's look. Run. Welcome, hacker. This is going to be a wonderful journey. So we're going to take. So let's do male. Let's do Kev. Okay, cool. So now we've collected some of the data. Let's start using some of this data we've collected in our actual program, right? So after that, you get some of the spaces in here so it looks better. So I'm gonna do this, and then so print a little about yourself with some info, and then what else do we do? So let's do our after we collect this, we can print out, right? So we do something like print. Oh, why is that tab's off? That's not tab. Oops, that's not tab. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna tab in. So we're gonna do print. So we learned a few ways of using string. We're gonna keep it to simple ones we learned. So okay, and then we can do okay. Then we want to insert their name, right? So we know that's stored into player info. So we can do player info, and then we're going to .get. .get is a function or a method that exists specifically for dictionaries that allows you to not just break your program if a key doesn't exist or return to error. So we're going to use .get. So we're going to know, we want to look at the key, what we call name. Then we're going to continue the string. It's wonderful. Actually, we can probably build it because they're all string right now. We actually can just build it with pluses. And that might work better for formatting because you can actually see how it's formatting. All it does is it joins it to each other. So we can add space. You're unique. and unique adventure awaits awaits you. Let's see. So it says, hello, community members and audience attendees. How are you today? What is the Simply Intelligent project built on? Yes, so today we're going to be wrapping up our third track where we take what we learned from our first and second workshop of Python, and we're going to build a story-based text line game. And then, yeah, that's basically it. To be honest, you really don't even need, if you have some programming experience with some Python, you don't really need the first or second track. You can just follow along with what we have. So we're currently building our start game function, which will collect some of the basic information and gives you kind of a nostalgic feeling of your old traditional games. So I've kind of started collecting some player information, and you can see how this all comes together. And if you even want, you can even build out ASCII art, which is super duper cool. So we're going to work on that in a bit, but let's see. But that's what's going on. I'll throw some ASCII art in a second. Yeah, I'm gonna start doing that right now. So the really cool thing is, so I'm waiting for ASCII thing to generate. Give me 1 second. So. Did you use add-on plugins or APIs libraries? No. So today we're only library going to use the standard input time library. That's all you really need. So that's all you really actually need. Can you spell? Give me 1 second. I'm looking for the ASCII art version. Give me the school. Okay. Let's see. Event description. Oh, thank you for throwing the event description to chat. I'm trying to see if I can get ASCII art generator. Let's see. ASCII. I think you should be able to. ASCII art generator. I just wanted to throw in some text. So let's do. Oh, this works actually. We're gonna do MLH. So we're gonna change our font. Oh, this is pretty cool actually. So if you actually do like ASCII, oh, this is actually pretty cool. Let's see, how do I want to do this? Maybe I'll do this. So if I copy this, so now if I do welcome hacker, so maybe we'll do print, and then you can do string rights. So I'm gonna create a string before this. It's gonna be global. It's gonna be called ASCII and AD venture title, and then I'm gonna put it as a string. Whoop. Oh, I need to make sure to backslash everything. Default check the height. That's all fonts. Let me see if I can get this working. I need to make sure if I use one with escape sequences, I escape them. So I wonder if this works. Ooh, I copied so much space. I wonder if there's. I hope this is not needed space that I'm just removing. But let's see what this looks like. So if I do. Oh no. Okay. So Let me see if I made something that will not require me to do so much work. And that still looks good. I just need to be careful because this generator I'm using doesn't auto escape, which is really unfortunate because that means I technically have to go through and escape each sequence of character myself. Okay, we'll work on that later. This can be like a cool thing, so we're gonna just leave it as currently maybe art, because here we're gonna skip that for now. We'll find one and use it later. So we're gonna print. We're not using the Pygame package, and that's correct. We're gonna use Replit. So let's do print adventure art, adventure title. Well, I'm going to do adventure title art, and then we're going to copy this down. We're going to continue writing this actually. Okay, plan from your GHW. So then if I run this, so maybe I will add a sleep time in here, and I'm going to drop it to actually just 1 second of a wait, and then this may be the start of the game, right? So this is collecting all information. So now we might go the rest of that. So let's look at this. What is your gender? What's your name? Kev. Okay, Kev, unique adventure awaits you. So maybe you want a new line characters there. So what we can do is go to here. I'm going to do /n for new line. Okay, so that is our first function done. We built in our initial collection of data. Next, maybe we will build out our next thing. So maybe we'll do death. We'll call it maybe chapter 1. We're going to build this chapters. We're going to do chapter 1 as a function. There we go. And then we're going to build in chapter 1. So maybe we'll build here. So after we start, we'll have chapter 1. That as a function here. Okay, so after we start chapter 1, maybe our first thing is we want to do a print. Maybe we will actually, let me see. So let me think. How did I do this actually? Window. I don't remember how to do this. So we're gonna try to see if we can clear the window of everything above it. Okay, perfect. We're actually going to also import OS. It's also a default library built into Python. I just checked for something. So we're going to import OS. So we're going to write a new function before everything. We're going to call it def. We're going to call it clear console. So maybe we want to start like a new scene and want to get rid of everything prior. So we're going to write this function called clear console, which just does if OS .name is equal to quote NT. This means it's a Windows computer. We will do os.system Windows system DLS, which is just clearing it, and else I think this works. Hopefully, it's os.system for any Unix-based system. So this works for Linux and Mac works. So before maybe one our next thing between chapter 1 and chapter 2, we want to clear. We're going to do clear console as a function, and then chapter 2, which is test it, we're going to do print testing. Oops, I forgot to do that. Okay, and then we're going to run this, and hopefully this works out. You're welcome. Art goes here. Whenever we get art, this adventure is filled with friends and learning. Before we begin, tell me a little about yourself. I'm going to do M for mail. What's up next, Kev? And then it goes, oh, okay. So we want a delay there. So this is where sleep comes in more handy again. So maybe before that, we want to let it sleep so the program doesn't continue in between these, right? So let's say we let it sleep on screen for maybe 1 second should be enough, right? Or let's see how long 1 second is. Okay, perfect. There we go. So the 1 second is pretty good between the clear and then chapter 1 starting. And then we're going to start writing chapter 1. You woke up and let's do, let's see, how can we do this? How do we do this? So I should have planned the story out prior, but we're gonna write story live here. So let's see. So we are working on an adventure. We're gonna call it a hackathon adventure. So we're gonna have our main character wake up in another world that they're not used to, and they're gonna be at a hackathon actually. So let's do as your conscience, as your mind slowly starts to clear up, you hear, there you go. No, I'm avoiding that. I think I want to do story building around. So if you've gone to actually any gamer stream, right? We want to do a little bit of story building. I don't want to be so direct and upfront. So as your mind slowly starts to clear up, you hear around you. Let's see. As your mind slowly starts to clear up, you hear around you. You hear. You hear. And I'm gonna do quote. I'm gonna do /new line. Oops, I did not do that. And I'm gonna do escape quote. There we go. So escape quote. Welcome to. What's a cool hackathon name that you think would be cool to wake up into? A cool hackathon name. Let me think. We're gonna take this is a. That's hilarious. That also works. So maybe we'll do print. So this is when parts like ChatGPT might come in super handy. I'm actually gonna turn over and look up my ChatGPT window. Hack to the future. So we might do that. And then before that, I'm gonna do. I'm gonna ask ChatGPT come up with a string that sounds like you just woke up and can't hear things around you clearly. Let's see what ChatGPT gives me. No, that was not a good response. Let's try something else. Let me try to refine my thing. Make sure that a string of sounds that makes it seems like this is hilarious, actually. This is what ChatGPT gave me as a string. We can refine this a bit. I do like some bits of it. So right there. So maybe no yawn. So I'm gonna take yawn out. Maybe we'll have rub eyes, rings in ears. Maybe no rustling of sheets, because I don't think you're in bed. Just taking that out. And I want to do what's happening? As your mind slowly starts to clear up, you hear welcome to. Let's do hack to the future. Thank you from chat. And when you've got a dot. Then between these, we're gonna build in time slow to help progress but make it feel long. Doing it like that. Okay, let's see. So we sleep for a second, and then remind. So we're gonna definitely need to sleep for another second here. But before we do that, I think that's for. Oh, we probably want new line characters to generate new lines. So we're gonna end here with a new line. Okay, and then let's see what this currently looks like. That's pretty good. Maybe we actually make these 2 seconds though. I think their jump's a bit too quick. And I think including maybe this one. Well, let's try to feel for how long this feels now. That's pretty good. I like that actually. So let's start. So let's build in maybe the idea of decision making. So we're gonna start building in. You have extra. Oh. No, I don't. I have one less extra quote. I forgot to escape the next quote. It was meant to look like this. Okay, maybe we'll figure out the ASCII art real quick. Give me 1 second. So let me try something. So let me do the ASCII art generator. Let's see. There's probably a library that does this, so it's probably a good way to show you library stuff. Oh, we found it. Okay, cool. So we're actually going to get our shell. So we talked about a lot of external library. We're actually going to use one actually right now. So I'm going to hit enter to change reloading shell. Okay, cool. I'm going to do a clear real quick. So we're going to actually do a pip. Oops, that's a pop. Pip install. Pip is a package manager. We're going to install the library called PyFiglet. We're going to install that. So it's going to download that all in. And that's been done. So now we can actually go back to our code. We're going to do another import this time. So we're going to now this time, I'm going to do import. We're going to import the whole library called PyFiglet, what we just installed. So after that's been done, we're going to first do, we're going to go back to our ASCII art. And instead of doing ASCII art codes here, we're going to use PyFiglet, or you can do import as. In Python, it's also like as maybe art, right? So this will be easier for me to type into art dot. So whenever it sees art, Python knows that it is PyFiglet. So I'm going to do art dot. It looks like it's figlet underscore format, and then we give it a text. So maybe we'll do MLH. We're going to do maybe global hack week. Sure. Actually, I think I want to change the story a tad bit. But let's see. So this, let's see if this works. Then we'll want the text of the story real quick after a bit. So we're going to run this now. So I guess it didn't resolve the dependency properly. There we go. Isn't that so cool? So now we can get that to print on its own. So now we can have any ASCII art if we want. So maybe I want some like, it looks like something kind of like glued to each other. I'm gonna put some things in between, or run this again. There we go. So maybe we want to change it because it is Global Hack Week Games. So let's modify this. So welcome hacker. This is going to be a wonderful journey into the world of hackathon, and so maybe we'll change it to Global Hack Week. I have an idea of how I want to write this actually now. So we're going to do Global Hack Week. Don't you show friends and learning. Forward by 10 about yourself. We're going to go through all that. We need this here. You actually maybe we will bring back the rustling of sheets. I'm gonna bring that back actually because I have an idea now. So rustling of sheet. What is that? What's happening? I'm gonna change it to what? Where am I? Yes. You probably can. I think that is super. I don't think. I know that's possible. But we're gonna table that for if we have time later to add art and make it all nice and pretty. But for right now, we're gonna write the rest of our adventure. I want to introduce some of our other concepts like for loops as well as if conditional structures, and then we'll come back and play around with that. So I'm gonna change how this works a tad bit. So we're gonna say, as your mind slowly starts to clear up, you hear, "Welcome to." Welcome to today in Global Hack Week. Print. Let's see. Screen. You think to yourself, wait, what? What is a global hack? I'm going to put some sleep in there. Okay, and then let's continue to build. Okay, so maybe so after I ask that, yeah, okay, so that's good. So we're gonna take another 2-second sleep so it will build out properly, and then from there, we do. You think to yourself, wait, what? What is a global hack week? Secure up hero. But new line actually, new line, but that doesn't seem to be the most pressing thing at the moment. You think to yourself, you think to yourself on what you should do. Should you stay and watch and hear the stream out? Or should you get up and look around? So maybe we will see how this prints / new line, and then we will add this, and then we will to build out a bit of game suspense, not a suspense, game time. We're gonna do another sleep for a second, and then we'll do print. So we're gonna do choice is equal to input the prompt. We're gonna cast it to int. And then we're gonna build in a few things here actually. Oh, thanks. There we go. Fix typos. Thank you. Good catch. Amazing. Wonderful. Thank you. Choose is equal to input, and what are we going to input here? We're going to do some nice formatting stuff. So actually, we're going to do. I'm going to write something called up here. It's going to call decision barriers. I'm going to make that equal to. It's a bunch of stars. I need to put them in a string though. Oop. So decision barriers. So maybe a few less stars actually. So maybe our decision barrier is only this big. Okay, there we go. So first thing we're going to input, we're going to do decision. We're going to choose input. Yeah, okay, thanks. So choose decision barrier, we're going to / new line, we're going to / t, we're going to do one dot listen, we're going to do one dot, we're going to do plus actually, decision barrier plus new line. We're going to do this, wait, no, I'm going to put it here and then do dot and then do one dot. Listen. Oh, the quotes ended here. There we go. Listen to the stream. And then we're going to do /n/t and then two dot. Explore the room. Then after that, we're going to do /n/t, and then we're going to do. Or if you do /n/n, and actually we're gonna do please enter 1 or 2. And then to validate this, actually, we're actually gonna do it while loop. While choice not in. So we're gonna make a do. We're actually gonna make a list. Actually, we'll just do here. Not in. So I'm gonna make it local, but this is dumb. 1, 2. Do please enter 1 or 2. Is only enter. So there we go. So let's see. Let's test this out real quick. Let's test our code and see how the formatting looks. So now let's terminate, run it. So welcome, hacker. This is going to be all for joining. This is Adventure filled with friends and learning. Before we begin, tell me about yourself. So I'm going to do M. Okay, my name is Kev. Okay, and then okay, Kev, your Nika waiter awaits you. The wrestling. Where am I? As you slowly come to. Okay, so we need to add a new line there. We need a new line there, and then we need to. Okay, so we need a few new lines. Okay, so you can build in the habit of adding these new lines, and a lot of this is more for formatting. Clearly, I messed up there. moment/n. I meant to do this. So that should fix that actually. And as you come to a wake, so /that, and we're going to do a /n. That should generate the new lines, and actually we probably want to, after you're done, so after we probably want to okay, so between this actually we're gonna do another we're gonna actually end this quote, and then we're gonna add in a decision barrier, and then we're gonna do an add, and then we'll do another quote to start that. Maybe we will even do 2 new lines here. So we'll actually just copy this, and then we're gonna put here. We're gonna end that, and we're gonna do that, and then we will take one of those out. And then now if we run this, it should look nice now. Water break. You see how ooh, I forgot a new line there. Okay, so let me do that. So between the scenes, we're going to do a /n here, and then we're going to go back up here and do a /n. Then we're going to test the logic there if it's working functionally. But you see how Python is such a powerful language. We can 100% build a full command line game. If you're getting started with game or trying to learn the actual concepts and game design, it's a pretty unique and nice way, right? So look at this product. I'm just gonna take this fully. I'm gonna run this now. And then you see. Let me do mail, I'm gonna do Kev, and then we're gonna go to continue process. So we can choose, right? So let's say I put 4, and you'll go 4 is not allowed, 5 is not allowed, 6 is not allowed. And then it would check everything. Now I'm gonna hit 1. So okay, so now the game terminates because we haven't built in the logic for it. But let's build in the logic for it. And between things, we might want to clear it so our game or our player can actually see the screen a bit better. Thank you. Yes, I do agree. It's pretty fabulous that you can do so much with Python. But yeah, I'm not making magic. You're so helpful in making this happen. Wouldn't be able to do this without you. So we're gonna actually probably run clear console after this decision, right? So after they make this decision, we'll clear the console. After that console's been clear, we will then do. So this is all that decision making. So let's see. So choose sleep. So we're gonna break this out a bit in code so I can understand it a bit better. And then I'm gonna do. So now I'm gonna bring in some conditional block. So if the user's choice was equal to 1, if it was 1, we want to do something. So we're gonna print. 1 was what? 1 was listen to the string info from. So we're gonna put them placeholder here. Info from stream. Else. We're gonna actually use else if. So we're gonna check out if. I'm gonna do choice is equal to 2, and then we're gonna print things around the room. Right. And generally, I'm a really firm believer always building else command, even though it should never be reachable because we have additional checks in place. It is helpful to debug if somehow someone gets here, right? So we can print. Wait. You shouldn't have gotten here. And we can even make it throw error, right? So if you know how error, so I might need another library, I forgot. So let me see which library is error in. Errors in Python. I'll do a quick Google search, which is always perfectly fine. Do Google searches. In Python. Doing a quick search on errors in Python. Okay, so it uses raise. So we're gonna actually raise the error invalid invalid input error. I'm gonna call it. We're gonna do this. Put this in this string actually. I'm gonna close this out. Let's see why is it not happy with me. Oh, I need to define that class for exception. So I'm gonna go up here, I'm gonna enter, I'm gonna do interesting. Invalid input error exception pass. And just so I can use that that exception. So I'm gonna do tab. Wait, my tab is no longer working properly. Wait, hello? No, we'll just keep it this. So yeah, my tab is no longer in screen. That's super weird. Do you see this? That's so weird. So we're gonna go down here. So we shouldn't have gotten here already. So now if I to test this, I can actually just build this to if it's equal to 0. I'm gonna test our arrays. So you can see our game coming along. I'm gonna hit like 0, say not option, hit 2. It says, wait, you should have gotten something else. See, so that's great. So that's fully functional. So I'm gonna build 2 back in. Then I'm gonna if there were error and says, wait, you should have gotten here. You should not have gotten here. That's what I meant to say. Not have gotten here. And the reason why you want to raise and throw this out because you can see what they got through. So they got there in line 52 and they shouldn't. But we don't need that because we've coded it properly, so it should not be able to get through. So I'm going to do this. You can see adventure game pops up. So I'm going to do M. So we know what we're going to do. So actually, I think I would like to actually do another clear before this, right? So we're going to do, we're going to call, my tab is not working anymore, so I have to use spaces for some reason. I'll fix that later. So we're going to do call console clear. Console clear console. Oops. I guess nothing is working properly. I might need to refresh, but that's what happened? Insert clear console. I think I called it clear console. So oh yeah, okay. Clear console. I'm gonna hit click on that. I'm gonna bring that. So now it will look a bit better. So we get that. So then it waits and it prints. Before we're gonna tell me a bit about yourself. We're gonna do Kev, and then it says, "What's up your name?" Kev. Oops, that was a mistake, but that's okay. So then it will clear. It says, "Okay, Kevin, your unique adventure awaits you." Then it starts list, and then it prints, and then it prints, and then it's like, "Oh, what would you like to do?" So if I do like A, it's like, "Oh, please choose onward 2." So I'm gonna say blue 2. Things around there, and then you can just continue to build your game from there. We're actually gonna call it stop for it there. And then let's address any questions chat might have about this process, because you can see the general gist of how to continue to build your game in Python, and all you really need is to know Python. This is actually a really nice way to get started in a simple, maybe story-based game for people to be able to enjoy without not needing super heavy technology or machinery. It's it's pretty easy. Any questions from chat? No question. Everyone's great, amazing. I hope that was pretty fun and enjoyable. Let me actually check something. I wonder who's up after. Yeah, essentially, right? It's like tell your own adventure story, right? So I would build out. So here's a multiple way to do this, right? So I think the best way to do this is then you define, and you probably need to do this above. So chapter 1 can use it. So I'm gonna do def. Maybe I'll do chapter 1, and I'm gonna do choice 1, right? Or like path 1, path 2, or like part 1, path 1, part 2. You can make a new function. You can also just code it the whole thing directly underneath as well, right? So I would do maybe, so if you choose 1, it will print, for example, info from string. You decided to listen more clearly to the stream in front of you. So we're going to do new line. New line. You hear the stream mention that Global Hack Week is a week-long stream of learning and making friends. And then maybe we'll do new line. Now you have that information. What do you want to do next? Okay, so we're gonna do new line, and then what we can do is we can then just go up here, and then you can even, and honestly, I might do this on stream, is we probably want to extract the similar formatting for option away, right? So what we can do is we can make a function. I'm actually doing this right now, so I'm gonna call def. We're gonna do option table. And we're gonna do this, and then hit enter. Hit the tab is not working, so two spaces. So instead of maybe doing this, so we can do this function actually takes a list. So this would take a list. So we can take there is something I like to do when I'm coding. It's called it's type hinting. So because in Python against the Wild West, you wouldn't know what type of thing is, but you can hint it at. So maybe I can do list of choices, and then I can use a type hint by using this, saying it's a list. That's hinting at it that whatever it gets, that should be a list. Because putting list in doesn't tell anything. Quick question. Hello, do you have any reference resources, sites, ebooks, blogs, forums, etc. that you recommend audience about Python programming languages? Thanks. There's a lot. I honestly think there's way too much resources out there for learning Python, and it's really beneficial. And actually, I've been recommending this to a lot of people. Any Googling of Python resources is pretty good and beneficial. But on top of that, nowadays you can also use ChatGPT for learning. I think AI is a really helpful learning tool, right? You can ask ChatGPT to explain to you things and do all that type of stuff. But yeah, so any official references, no. I learned a lot of Python on my own by using a lot of different things and just Googling and looking things up. But there are definitely books out there that are pretty good. I would just do a simple search, and you probably find a lot, even if it's just a simple search. So I'm gonna do this, so list of choices. So I'm gonna go down here. So I'm just gonna do this. So we're gonna take this input thing, and then we're gonna do this. We're gonna copy it. Then we're gonna come up here, and we're gonna put it in here. So we're probably gonna do a list of choices, and then we're gonna do I've heard of that one, so that's probably a pretty good one to start with. So we're gonna do a list of choices, right? So then first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna need to build. So we're gonna have this function Just do print. And we're going to print out just what we have of decision barrier. And then after the decision barrier is printed out, we're going to do a loop, right? So, oops, I forgot that. That's so broken. So, I don't know why this is so broken. I'm going to do for I in list of choices. Even my intro is broken. It's great. For I in list of choices, space. Oops. Why is everything so broken? For I in choices, we're going to do print. And then we're going to just do, we're going to do actually for I in len of choice in range. So we learned about range already. Range are of the length of choices. We're going to do print. Let's see, what are we going to print? We're going to print I. And then we want the first option, right? So I, and we're going to do I, comma, we're going to do, actually we want to do probably, we're going to do str, we're going to string I, we're going to typecast I, we're going to add to it, after typecasting it, the string dots, and then we're going to close that string, and then we're going to, from that, we're going to add to it the list. I'm going to add to that. Where is that yellow? Why is that even looking like that? Something is wrong, but that's okay. We closed it. We're going to add to that. Then list of choices. Oops, I forgot. All my thing is broken right now. Don't know why. I'm going to put I in there. So then we're going to do that. And then finally, for the end, you can do from here. Oops, it's so broken right now. What are some examples of the type of games a player can play in Python? I only know some basic Python, trying to imagine if it would do in the game, right? So this will be a story-based, turn-based game, right? So you can even build in a whole Pokemon, right? You can use ASCII art to do the whole attack sequence. You can do all sort of things, right? So you can build anything. You can build 2048. ASCII art is your limit. You can legit build a whole entire thing. The only thing is you can't build the graphics in terms of your regular graphics. You can with other libraries and external parts. So if you go to actually, I think it's PyGames or GamePy or something. So even in Replit, right, if you want to build more advanced as you're going, getting more advanced, you do create and you do Python, right? Python. You can see all the templated ones, right? You have Python with graphics, you have Python with data science, Python for Discord bot, so on and so forth. But what I was talking about is there is a Python with like OpenAI stuff, but there is a Python with game. I forgot, is it game? Let me do game and see if I get it. Yeah, PyGames, right? PyGame is a library that's full of a lot of Python game things that you're able to do. But we're really trying to apply a lot of the skills we learned from our previous work. Yeah, it's pretty cool. There's a lot of things you can do in Python. Yeah, for sure. That's where Replit is great. I love Replit. So after we build up this loop, why is it yelling at me here? Take that out. For I in range of the length. Oh, I'm missing it. That's why. There we go. So then we want to print that. So then finally we want to print some spaces because it's not auto counting from it anymore. So after that, we want to actually print the decision barrier again. And after the decision barrier, oops, this is so broken. I don't even know what broke it. After the decision barrier, you probably want to do please only enter from enter. We want to probably generalize the sentence, right? So to generalize the sentence, what I'm going to do is change this to please only enter one, enter a choice from 1 to 2, and then we're going to do this, we're going to do this, then we're going to do a plus, we're going to do that. So we're going to do from 1 to, and then we're going to do a next quote string like that, and then we're gonna do actually we're gonna put the string space here. We're gonna do plus, and then we're gonna do ftr. We're gonna do length of the actual so actually we're gonna do we're gonna make this easier, so let's change this to 0, because if you don't know, remember indexing starts at 0, so we're gonna do from 0 to plus length str of the length of our actual list, which I need to put in, which is called list of choices. Oh, I forgot it doesn't let me do that. So list of choices, and then we will hopefully be that closes that, that closes that. And then we'll probably want to do another plus, and we're just going to add in the comma. So that's all done now. So now this is no longer needed here. So what we can do is now go back down and change how this is operational, right? So instead of choices, you go imp, da, da, da. So what we will do is we can do choice is equal to, we called it option table, and then we just give it the list of choices, so option table, and we feed it a list. And the list would be, our first one would be listen to the string. So we're going to do a string, and then we're going to call it listen to the string. And then we're going to do comma, do our second string, which we'll call it explore the room. Right, so everything hopefully will automatically do this for you. So now you can also just do this. I'm just going to copy this choice, and I'm going to replace it even down here. The choice is equal to that. For console, if I run this now, you can see we get this nice game window. This is Adventure Full of Learning. So we're going to gender. I'm going to do, oh, I don't know what's going on. It's okay. And now you can see that it awaits you. It does that. Hope it doesn't break. Oh, it broke. That's great. Why did it break? Let me see. I messed up somewhere. Oh, I forgot to finish writing the loop. Okay, so it did terminate. So that's why it broke. So from here it says for I in range of length of list dot choices. Range. Oh, I'm a huge dummy. I forgot to create the input, and then also return that input is what's going on. So for example, please enter only right here, right? So actually I don't want this. I also want to do input. So input, right? And then also do, actually I want to probably do a return. So whatever the input, you just return it, and this will fix that problem. So we return input, da, da, da. But what I probably want to do is I probably want a new line, /new line, and then decision barrier. Before that, I probably want to do, so I probably would just, actually, let's see how this looks. I can't recall. Oops. Everything is really broken right now, so there we go. So we're going to run this again. I'm going to try this again. I want to remove that new line there, but let's see. So now it says it continues building. There we go. I probably want a new line before coming in, so what I might do is add another print. Maybe the barrier itself, no. We want it to be nested properly. So we want to go to option table, right? So for option table, you don't start like that. You actually want to start with a print. And a print by itself is just a new line. And there's other ways of modifying this. I'm just being lazy. So I'm going to run this again. And this is probably our final product for today. We'll show you right now. Oh, you're so correct. I forgot to correct the rest of the thing. All right, so instead of choices, you would just enter from 0. The reason I dropped it down to 0 or 1 is only because if you remember, list indexing starts at 0 just to keep it concise and easier to keep track of, so you're not always off shifting by 1. It's not hard to do, but just for today's lesson. So hit. Oh, I need to remove 2 actually. So I must have, I forgot. So to make it easier, the reason, so because remember, length counts the number of items. It goes 1, 2. It doesn't start at 0. So actually, I will need to modify this. So you want to take the length and you want to subtract 1. But I'm going to continue for now. I'm going to hit enter. You can see, wait. Did I mess up? What did I mess up? Let me see. I think it's because in the checklist, I forgot to modify that. And it's actually really nice to actually modify. Let's find it. So chapter 1 in the checklist, it should be, well, choices not in, you can do range, actually. You can do range of length of, oh, you don't even do that. So choices in range of 2, right? So we only want 2 choices. So we're going to do not in range of 2. We're going to close that. I'm going to hit stop, run. Yes, arrays and lists are the same thing. They both start from 0. I'm just shifting it by 1 because of that. So it shifting it by 1, so everything will start at 0. But you can totally start at 1. Just make sure you index properly and in the right place. You have a +1, right? So now we have this building out. So now if I hit 0, I am a troll. Why does it do that? Choice is equal to the return of the input. Let's see. Well, choose is equal to while choose is not in range. Let me see. Let me try. Is it because I use range there? Let me try if I just do. What do you mean by how to make it effective? I'm going to do 0, 1 for now. There's definitely a better way to approach that. But let's see if we can get this working. What do you mean how to make it effective? Also, welcome to the stream. I'm going to do mail, I'm going to do Kev, and then. Okay, so something is broken. So time to do some debugging. Let's pull out our code full screen here so I can figure this out. So I'm pretty sure range should work. So I'm going to put it back into range. I'm going to put 2 here. So that should be the range thing. I'm getting stuck somewhere here. So to figure out where I'm getting stuck, I'm going to throw in a few print statements to help me debug. I'm going to do print. It's definitely one of my loops. That is for sure one of the problems. Oh, I'm just stupid. I am not. It's not this loop. This loop only prints out the choices. I'm definitely returning, but just in case, I'm going to take this out. I'm going to hit enter, and then I'm going to paste this back in, and then I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do temp is equal to that, and then we're going to actually just return temp to make sure that's functional. Let's see. I'm going to try this. And check 3 should fail. One is also failing. So it's failing one of the check somewhere. It's definitely this while loop in here. Or choice is not in range. So I'm gonna now throw in some print statement to help me debug to double check, but it's most likely that. So print part 1 I want to copy this exact print statement. I'm going to put it inside the while loop. And I want to do print part 2. So enter the loop. I never got out of the loop. Oh, I'm big dumb. So I figured it out. Nothing is wrong except for I am stupid. So, chat, do you remember what we talked about how input worked? This is the dangerous part about Python is you cannot declare the type of the variable. This is not in the line. This is actually up here. It's also, I don't even need this whole temp thing. I actually just need to return. The only thing is I've been checking in as integers to make my life easier. I forgot that this comes in as a string. So if I just throw this as an integer now, this will work. So it's line 24, close 30 off. I totally forgot about that. This is the dangerous part of coding in Python because you don't declare which variable it is. So when you get something that's not supposed to be, so it just takes it because it's a dynamically typed language. So now this should work, right? So now if I do 8, it's the number 8, and it goes no. But if I do 1, it continues, right? Things are on the road. That was a great example of how dangerous that is in Python. Yeah, see, so now this is great. We built a lot of this done. Okay, cool. So is there any other questions I can address? Any questions from chat? If not, this will probably be our end of our Python 101 part 3 for games. Hopefully, I might bring this back but focus on cryptography for security or so on and so forth. With that being said, I do want to push for the next stream that is coming up right after me. It is one of our favorite streamers, one of my favorite coaches. So that is happening at 3. Actually, I'm at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let me check what time IST that is. It is 4 p.m. Am I crazy? What time is it? Yeah. So it's happening at 4 p.m. and it's 1:30 p.m. IST. And then I'm going to edit this with, I'm going to guess who's going to be on later. Thank you, appreciate it. Well, I hope everyone have a wonderful rest of their Global Hack Week. This was my last stream for this Global Hack Week. I hope to see you guys all around for next Global Hack Week. Please stick around for our game jams, indie game development, and creating experiences with Dimmer, amazing streamer and coach himself, at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, as well as 1:30 p.m. IST. But yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed and have a wonderful rest of your day in Global Hack Week. Take care. Take care. Bye. Make sure to get some rest and do come around if you can for Dimmer stream.